chair
If
of
he knew
this
how we all felt about him, he'd leave town.
committee.
Somebody suggested Sister Christian when she was out of
Involving
town,
female.
that since she worked on the study committee, or made that suggestion.
better list.
I'm not support.
Sister Christian.
list.
Very good.
I was going to suggest Dr. Robert Carter Davis again, if Wilson doesn't, cause I feel quite
As
sure
an
Dr.
alternate. Very good.
Willis,
Dr.
that's,
Robert Carter Davis. Dr. Davis attended the times that we were.
that's right. Well, he is really interested in nursing. Dr. Davis has always has been.
Well, if Sister Christian can't accept, do you want to have an alternate for that? 'Cause that's an important one, if we continue to have a register. That's where we can set up new levels and do wonderful educational programs.
What about Miss Angela Overton?
Remove her from the other and have
That's
Miss
true.
Angela Overton.
Is she an administrator, I mean, is she in education or a nursing service?
Sister Kristen is out of nursing service now,
Oh, she is?
completely, and Miss Overton is the director of nursing service.
Suppose,
Overton.
One half dozen rather, let's go eat supper.
That's a charity. I'm glad I ate something that long.
We still need then, this takes us back to the need for a member of the registry committee.
If Miss Connell will accept it, we'll be all right. If she doesn't, then
We need an alternate.
Or why don't you just switch Sister Kristen and Miss Overton? You wanna do
All
that?
right, thank you. So she was on the study committee with no.
Sister Christian speaks so much.
Thank you. Sister Rosemary. Then we're to the official publication, and we got them all. Chair, Ms. Wells, Mrs. Catherine Fitzpatrick, and Roseanne Jones, all accepted.
Where's these? Official
Uh,
publication.
Special committees, and these we had no number required, and I'll read who we have on them so that you might give some consideration if you want additional names. Chairman, Mrs. Elaine Mullins, Mrs. Daisy Moorhead accepted, Sister Louis Mary, and Mrs. Jackie Graves. Do you wish additional names?
what committee's that?
Careers?
Rebecca Nyland did not
She didn't accept?
No.
She didn't
We
answer.
haven't heard from
Did Mary
she nor
Colquitt
Mary
refuse?
Colquitt.
Mary Colquitt will, she's my assistant, I told her she was going to. She
I started her.
This will be very active during your nursing recruitment week.
She will. She just probably tossed the card out.
She probably didn't think about that.
Are there other names that
No.
you wish to add?
Yes,
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 members.
How about Peggy? You want
Yes, we can certainly entertain more. Peggy Winston.
You going home?
No, this is
Recruit, careers. Careers. Is that some of them?
No, while you're mentioning that, I thought I wasn't gonna mention it to you about these cards, and incidentally, they are wonderful to have because you think you sent them, and very often you don't. But Madam Chairman, I think maybe the board would like to know how some of these on the private duty group felt almost verbatim. About 3 of them wrote, as a private duty nurse, I feel that the district chose to boycott our register, and I do not desire to support such an organization. That was from Elizabeth Eden, and the same thing as a private duty nurse, I feel that the district chose to boycott us and our registry. I do not desire to serve on a committee of such an organization. So those were from the private duty ones that declined. Some of the others, of course, had children and other excuses, I mean, couldn't be here in the afternoon. But there were at least 3 who felt that the private duty group.
Well, Sharon, sorry they feel that way, because I know intentions of hurting any private duty nurse. I might need one someday myself.
Well, we have now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. Miss Graves, did you get Peggy Winston as the last name for careers?
No.
And then they said Mrs. Coffey, so.
So
that
it's
should-
Mullins, Colquitt, Moorhead. Oh,
Yes, and Sister Lewis Mary and yourself and Peggy Winston. And then on our insurance, Miss Catherine Fitzpatrick agreed to serve as chair, and Sister Mary Naomi agreed to serve, and Marie Jones agreed to serve. And if we wish additional, Mrs. Phillips declined.
Wouldn't 3 be enough?
I thought I'd tell you, Miss Mason is in town if you have any problems or you want to talk to her on insurance. She's on the 8th floor, Mrs. Tucker. She is now integrated, and I took her that new insurance policy that A&H has there to find some of the little fine clauses for her, because she is interested. And since you'd be at the convention, if any of you wanted to talk to her while she's there or in Atlanta.
On the economic and general welfare, this committee was created, and the chair, Sister Lewis Mary, Mrs. Pauline English, and Martha Davis accepted. Mrs. Juanita Rochot declined.
Well, she should be on it, 'cause she's the one that made the motion to go up to $25.
Well, she's the one right here that said she couldn't support you because you went back. As a private duty nurse, I feel the district chose to boycott us, and I'll register. I do not desire to serve on a committee of such an
So glad she didn't
organization.
get on it, I don't know what to do.
She doesn't have to wear a boycott means.
Meeting
Oh,
for the
sorry, that wasn't what I was gonna do.
I think Dorothy would be a good one on it.
Mrs. Dorothy Costello. Miss Hastings, you
first
have a.
aid. She's
I was
Right.
just gonna say, this thing that Miss Atkins is bringing out here is something I think we need to go into and work on. I mean, this is, I'm aware of it, I'm not surprised, but I'm sorry. And I wish that I don't think we'll ever work out anything about registry or anything else till this problem is evolved.
Well, we'll have to get attitudes changed some way. I thought about
a long time
Work on
deal.
Miss Hudson first.
Of course, we can't do it tonight.
I'd rather start with something I could work on.
Let's move then to, this gives us a 4th member for the economic and general welfare, to National Nursing and National Defense and Disaster, Miss Alice Budd, Mrs. Gladys Garland, and Mrs. Mary Starkhill all accepted, and Nancy Johnson. I didn't talk with Nancy. She is on the disaster, Red Cross disaster, and I thought she would serve.
She didn't answer, so maybe she still has a card and hasn't.
I'll ask her, but can we have an alternate?
Ramona Andrews.
She's on
Ramona Andrews.
It's a well, they would be.
I'm gonna fix it on the next one, she's on the, unless you wanna put her on both of them.
No, after.
Who did you suggest?
What about Evan Rowe? Do we need somebody else?
Well, we have replacement, and Miss Rowe, unless you all wish to name her also on the other, which is appropriate.
She's really interested in that.
We'll have to check on Ramona.
She was 4 years ago.
She's changed.
If you wish, we'll name Mrs. Rowe as an alternate. All right. And then the Committee on Professional Practice, Chairman Jackie Graves, Mrs. Evelyn Rowe accepted, Joanne Goodson accepted, Miss Sarah Helen Kilgore accepted. We have not heard from Ms. Lott or Ernestine Kelsey. Mrs. Hembry declined, and Mrs. Olga Jones accepted. Do you wish to name others?
You haven't heard from her.
No. may someone here volunteering from this is Kelsey,
Yeah, we gotta speak to.
How about Patsy Gibbs on
Patsy,
that?
GTZ.
That's right.
What was her name?
Atwater.
Why don't you put Evelyn
I
Gottschalk
don't
put an
know
alternate
her,
on?
Evelyn,
Atwater.
Gottschalk.
Thin-faced, red-haired girl with kids.
I mean, she
how
was
you
still
spell it,
that
sister?
Double T,
Got it
yeah.
right here.
A-L-K, G-O-T-T-S-C-H-A-L-K.
All right. Then, this would,
Sounds
complete
German,
our, appointments for standing in special committees, and, we would need to have a motion and officially elect these people if they would serve, as we did last time.
I so move.
We have the motion and second that these people be duly elected is accepted, appointed for official appointment to the standing and special committees. All in favor of this motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Then they are so appointed. Now, I have,
You fix the motions now? Yeah, well, I'll let
unless there's new business, I have a very brief report to give you a final report. There was a special call meeting of the GSNA board in Macon on October 20th, 1966. And you have a copy of the essence of the changes in the budget for the Georgia State Nurses Association in your Georgia Nursing Call to Convention issue. There are two budgets. One is listed as proposed budget number 1, and then there's a proposed budget number 2. The proposed budget number 2 on page 16 did not ever receive board approval, so it is not an official budget. At the GSNA board, a motion was made that on page 16 proposed budget number 2, that the amounts under the Economic Security Program be deleted, that a total of $18,000 be proposed. This amount be used as designated by the Economic Security and General Welfare Committee upon their recommendation to the Executive Board, GSNA. Now, this budget has not, this motion has not officially been cleared either. However, I did check with the Executive Secretary of GSNA as to the appropriateness of my circulating this to members in the district, and did get approval for same. The reason this was, the board accepted the motion, but the minutes will not be cleared to pre-convention officially. So, to adopt the proposed budget on page 15, I believe it is, the proposed budget number 1, will require a $5 per year dues increase. If we adopt the proposed budget number 2 with the changes I just read, it would require an additional $6. In other words, to finance an $18,000 economic security program, it would require $6 per member based on the present membership. So that as we go to convention to adopt a proposed budget 1 plus an economic security program will require $11 increase in dues. This means, and we're hearing, as I've had many calls about this budget before we really had anything to say that I could say officially. People were really reacting to the increase in dues. As I see it, $5 per member to permit the GSNA to have an economic security, $6 per member, or 50 cents per month to have an economic security program for the state, to me, personally, would certainly be far a greater investment than trying to fight the union or anything else that we might think of. So this $79,000 budget has been reduced by, I believe $41,000 was originally scheduled for economic security to $18,000.
I may be just misunderstanding you. On this copy that you gave us, it says if budget 1 is adopted, it will require a $5 a year increase. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then at 211, because you were saying 6.
Well, it will be a total of 11 because 2 really is an inclusion of 1 and an economic security.
Oh, okay.
So it's a total of 11. And that was circulated. If you go back to page 10 in the bylaws committee, we did get it changed so that we can adopt or we can take action on $11 dues in view of the fact that it has been circulated. Now, I understand some of you still have not received your Georgia nursing.
I don't know, we voted that down, the board did.
Okay.
Ms. Pope, did you tell them that when Ms. Barbie circulated the information about this budget number 1, that the board did not approve it?
Yes.
We were approved it, but then we rescinded the action on it, didn't we? Then when she sent out this number 2, we did not approve it as it was. That's the reason we had the meeting.
Budget 1 was approved, but they wanted, the board asked for another proposal that would include economic security. You remember?
That's right.
And board, they did not show us an economic security.
Then when the number 2 was circulated, the board disapproved that and asked for a
Yes, they
meeting.
sent out for a referendum vote, and it was not approved. And many of the board members asked for a call meeting
And actually
of which
what
to deal with
what
this.
they cut out in the economic security program was really a large percent of it was that renovation of that old building sitting out there, $15,000. That building probably ain't worth much more than that, frankly, could be. But I
Those
doubt
of you that attended the convention last year would know that much of it was discussed, really not just an economic security program, but the economic situation of nurses. And I believe that the membership was saying at convention that we wanted a standing economic security program. But at that time, we could not get it through convention because it had to be unanimous. It had not been on financial considerations. So as we go to convention this year, there have been financial considerations given. Now it's up to the members that if they still wish it, to go and vote for it. And if they do not wish it, then of course to vote it down. But, the executive chair did talk with Ms. Barbin and stated that I could share this with, us at this meeting. So you, as a matter of fact, they stated they wish to get this information circulated, and that this information will be available to us, as we register at convention. So that's, there also came out of the executive board meeting of that date, October 20th. We met following the four boards meeting, and apparently there's a good bit in the air about some legislation changes as relates to the practical nurse law. The Board of Regents, not Board of Regents, the Vocational Education Group were wishing to alter the curriculum for the education of practical nurses and to change the practical nurse practice law so as to more or less have a standard curriculum for the private, whether it's private, vocational, or otherwise. And at the four boards meeting, it was thought that the practical nurse group were wishing to open their law and make many changes. And there was a legislative, GSNA had a legislative committee meeting. I did not attend. Ms. Atkins was able to attend it, and that still is, there's nothing definite on it, is it? Excepting that they oppose, the legislative committee is recommending an opposition to changing any of the law.
Yes, they wanted to delay it and open the law on both of them, both the graduate, and make a mandatory law and have a really good one before they present it.
That probably will come before convention also.
One thing that the practical nurses was to do away with the professional nurse advisory committee to the practical nurses. They won't be on their own. In my own way of thinking, this convention that we have coming up is really important to registered nurses. If we don't adopt this proposed budget, it's been thought through by the advisory board and GSNA, we're going to lose our economic security program, because if we don't adopt that, it all goes out the drain. If we don't go up on the dues. And we got to choose between whether we want to support GSNA or do we want to support a union. And we got to go along with this recommendations on this practical nurse law as far as making it right for registered nurses. I think that there were some very good recommendations come in on that. So I think that all nurses that can go down there, especially the nurses working in hospital that understand these things a whole lot better than I do on practical nurses, ought to be there.
Madam Chairman, may I state, I'm supposed to go as soon as Miss Davis gets off in the morning, and my strong feeling is to come back Thursday. But many have stated they thought I ought to stay down there, that I having little nose for news sometimes, in other words, in case anything came up. And now we are confronted with something. We've got to have someone who will be responsible for this film and seeing that it's shown Thursday. And someone to introduce our speaker for Thursday.
Charlotte,
Will you do it, sister?
I can. I'm not going to be here Thursday afternoon.
Can you find someone in your hospital that will be
The
responsible?
trouble, if it was a projector, anybody could do it. There's one person that I know of that knows how to run that, what do you call it, the film strip, and that's Charlotte Sykes. And is she going away?
She's going.
Well,
Well, now,
Mary
Ms. Holland
Dodge
has
do
shown it,
that
and
on,
also Ms.
recruit
Hopper has shown it, hasn't he?
Yes, she's going to
When I
convention.
talk-
Both of those are going to convention.
What about Skyler? Do you think it could? I talked with her today and she said she wasn't gonna be able to come. But
I have an agenda for the program for Thursday, which is our regular meeting, and I did talk with, our parliamentarian before she left, and, got from her the recommendations, according to the parliamentarian, that if we do not have a quorum for business, that this meeting will have to be adjourned for a later date. That there,
business
yes, the business meeting does have to be taken care of. So, and our bylaws call for this.
what do you mean, we have to go through all this?
If there's no quorum, we can't go through this.
Okay, and what constitutes a quorum?
4 members. Are you going to chair it, Carol?
I'll be there for a few minutes, but I won't be there the whole time.
Well, as secretary, if Ms. Hammett and the 4 members of the board of directors, one of whom shall be the president or vice president, and I'll be at convention, and you're at convention, and Ms. Hammett is away. So then the only thing we can do is have a past president or a secretary or some board member to act as chair and have the program.
25 members.
Yeah, we can't have any business.
Our
Yes.
past president will be at the meeting.
This Thursday?
Yes.
Ms. Garland, could we call upon you to chair, and I will get someone, you have the information on the speaker.
Chop it off in the
I'll
hall, it's
get
already been chopped on, it's still
She
there.
she knows the biographical sketch by heart of the speaker, doesn't she?
Well, let's give her the schedule, just in case you forget, because this was sent in last year's program.
Ms. Garland, would you be so kind as to introduce our guests also? And I'll get someone there to show the family trail. Now, that takes care, does the board wish to give any, direction to our past president who so kindly agreed to chair this meeting?
Who's gonna save my head if it's taken up?
I think she should make it quite clear when she
I'll
gets
be
up
there.
there, this is just
I'll be
temporary.
You don't bring the product.
I'll be
But you
there.
all can't transact any business, so that you need to worry.
Do you wish to give a date and, give some thoughts to a date when we may adjourn that meeting to another date? Or do you leave it to the membership that's present?
Miss Garland will arrange.
Leave it to Joe.
Then,
How it'll be arranged.
while we are all present,
cancel.
can I have
I
some
cancel the
suggestions
whole
from you
thing
for
to say something.
a time when we might conveniently get together after our next Tuesday meeting, November 15th?
Well, now, the 22nd is the day we have recruitment day in the booth on Alton Hall. The 29th is your party day, and, thank you.
Quorum is 25 members.
Oh, yes, calendar, I have to have this on for you.
We meet on Tuesday the 15th. The following Tuesday is the recruitment day in the hospitals. That's the 22nd. That's the Tuesday before. How about Monday the 21st at 4:30?
That's the week of Thanksgiving,
Yes. Monday the 21st.
Well, we won't have a meeting.
Carol can't be here. Can most of the other group be here?
Same 4:30,
At 4:30.
same building, in the same room.
when,
You're gonna have to clear it.
Monday the 21st, we would need to clear the room.
Do you want me to clear it, Ms. Pope, or you want to clear it?
Appreciate it, no, we appreciate you doing it, you will. Let us know if it is a show.
Well, as far as everyone knows except Carol, and you're not sure, are you? But the rest of the group.
We won't get a notice on this now, will we?
Yes, you will.
All right, good.
You got to notice on all meetings, and we try to give them to you at least 5 days before.
I
the meeting.
appreciate it, I was just wondering if we
You
were gonna get
will,
one
and
on
the
this
one
call
reason
meeting.
I wanted to be at the one on Thursday in Athens, I feel it's important, is legislation.
Yeah, I think
And I
we should
think
be there,
everything that has to
definitely.
do with that, that I should be there. So,
I think everybody could
Then,
come.
that completes the agenda unless someone has, other announcements or. I have a second.
Second.
Second, all in